The biggest bombshells from Prince Harry's memoir. Spare ever since July 2021, when Prince Harry announced that he was writing an intimate and heartfelt memoir. The royal family has been bracing for impact. Now, the book has landed, and it appears that Buckingham Palace was right to worry. Spare pulls no punches in recounting private family moments and intimate conversations, meaning that the consequences for the royals could be staggering. Below, we're rounding up all the biggest bombshells. He Guardian details a shocking episode in which Prince Harry alleges that he and Prince William, whom he calls my beloved brother and arch-nemesis, once came to blows as their relationship fell apart over the Duke of Sussex's marriage. Describing a confrontation at his London home in 2019, Harry writes that William called his wife, Duchess Meghan, difficult, rude, and abrasive. Harry told his brother that he was repeating the press narrative about Duchess Meghan, and that he expected better. The confrontation escalated until William grabbed me by the collar, ripping my necklace, and he knocked me to the floor. I landed on the dog's bowl, which cracked under my back, the pieces cut into me. I lay there for a moment, dazed, then got to my feet and told him to get out. According to Harry, William said, "You don't need to tell Meg about this." Harry didn't, but when the Duchess noticed visible scrapes and bruises on his back, he came clean. She wasn't that surprised, and wasn't all that angry, the prince writes. She was terribly sad. According to sources close to Prince William interviewed by Vanity Fair, William is furious that his brother has leaked the details of private conversations. The source described a massive trust issue between the brothers, with William worried that anything he says to Harry can and will be made public. Another source told Vanity Fair, William worries everything and anything he says will be made public. For now, he isn't going to be commenting or reacting. His plan is to ride this all out. At the end of the day, he will still be the Prince of Wales, and that's what he is focused on. According to E! News, when Harry informed his brother that he planned to propose to Duchess Meghan, William warned Harry that the relationship was moving too fast, and it was too soon to get engaged. Harry writes that in William's parlance, American actress always sounded comparable to convicted felon. Harry also reports that William advised against the couple marrying at Westminster Abbey, where William and Kate married, or St. Paul's Cathedral, where Charles and Diana were wed. His son, working from a Spanish copy of Spare, reports that Prince Harry and Prince William begged their father, King Charles III, not to marry now Queen Consort Camilla, with whom he'd had an affair while married to their late mother, Princess Diana. The princes promised to welcome Camilla into the family, but desperately wished that she and Charles would remain unmarried. Harry alleges that Charles did not reply. He also accuses Camilla of leaking the details of private conversations. Pot, kettle. Shortly after our private summits with her, she began to play the long game, Harry writes. A campaign aimed marriage and eventually the crown. With Pa's blessing, we presumed. Stories began to appear everywhere in all the papers about her private conversation with Willie, stories that contained pinpoint accurate details, none of which had come from Willie, of course. They could only have been leaked by the one other person present. According to Vanity Fair, King Charles is said to be concerned that Queen Consort Camilla will not escape Spare unscathed. The king is less worried about the attacks on him, but he would be very upset if Harry takes a pop at Camilla, and there is every chance Harry could do that, a source close to the king told the magazine. Speaking of King Charles, Harry delves into long-standing rumors that his real father is not Charles, but rather riding instructor James Hewitt, his mother's lover. According to Yahoo News, Spare accuses King Charles of making cruel digs about the rumors. Pa liked telling stories, and this was one of the best in his repertoire. Harry writes, he'd always end with a burst of philosophizing. Who knows if I'm really the Prince of Wales? Who knows if I'm even your real father? He'd laugh and laugh, though it was a remarkably unfunny joke, given the rumors circulating just then that my actual father was one of Mummy's former lovers, Major James Hewitt. One cause of this rumor was Major Hewitt's flaming ginger hair, but another cause was Satanism. Harry notes that the rumors are untrue, pointing out that his mother didn't meet Hewitt until after he was born. According to Sky News, Prince Harry learned about the death of Queen Elizabeth II from the BBC, described seeing the news on his phone after his plane landed. I checked the BBC webpage. My grandmother had died. My father was the king. I put on a black tie, stepped off the plane into heavy drizzle. Harry also claims that King Charles told him Duchess Meghan should not join the grieving family at Balmoral, the Scottish estate where the Queen died in September. He told me I was welcome at Balmoral, but without her, Harry writes. He started to explain his reasons, but they didn't make any sense at all, and it was disrespectful as well. I did not tolerate it from him. Don't even think about talking about my wife like that. Repentant, he said, stammering that he simply didn't want the place to be full of people. Nobody's wife was going to go. Not even Kate, he told me, so Meg shouldn't either. According to NBC, Harry writes about the earth-shattering moment in 1997 when he learned that his mother had been injured in a car crash and was about to die. Then just 12 years old, Harry sat down with Charles, who explained the circumstances. What I do remember with stunning clarity is that I did not cry, Harry writes. Not a tear. My father did not hug me. Harry writes that during his decade of service in the British Army, which involved 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan, he killed 25 members of the Taliban. It seemed essential for me not to be afraid of that figure. The prince writes per Sky News. Among the many things I learned in the armed forces, one of the most important was to be accountable for my own actions. He continues, so my number, 25. It was not something that filled me with satisfaction, but I was not ashamed either. Members of the British Army have expressed concern about this revelation. Retired British Army Colonel Tim Collins told Force News, "That's not how you behave in the Army. It's not how we think." He has badly let the side down. "We don't do notches on a rifle. We never did." Meanwhile, another, former Colonel, Richard Kemp, told the BBC that sharing these numbers, in such stark terms, could undermine Harry's security and provoke the Taliban to take revenge. In his younger years, Prince Harry was often photographed partying and enjoyed a reputation as a royal bad boy. According to Sky News, Spare delves into this misspent youth, with Harry remembering the first time he snorted cocaine at 17 years old. He writes, "Of course I had been taking cocaine at that time. At someone's house, during a hunting weekend, I was offered a line, and since then I had consumed some more. It wasn't very fun, and it didn't make me feel especially happy as seemed to happen to others, but it did make me feel different, and that was my main objective, to be different. I was a 17-year-old willing to try almost anything that would alter the pre-established order. At least, that's what I was trying to convince myself of." On the subject of drugs, Harry also writes about doing mushrooms at the home of Friends actress Courtney Cox. Speaking of Harry's years as a royal bad boy, remember the scandal when he dressed as a Nazi soldier for a Halloween party? In Spare, he reveals that the Prince and Princess of Wales encouraged it. According to the New York Post, Harry writes that William and Kate howled with laughter when they saw Harry in costume. This isn't the first we're hearing of William's involvement in this scandal. Royal historian Robert Lacey previously reported that Harry chose his costume in conjunction with his elder brother, the future King William V, then 22, who had laughed all the way back to Highgrove, Charles' country home, with the younger sibling he was supposed to be mentoring, and then onwards to the party together. According to Lacey, Harry felt resentful and even alienated by how William emerged from the ensuing scandal unscathed, while he was widely criticized. The Daily Mail reports that Harry recalls losing his virginity to an older woman at age 17 in a field behind a pub, calling it a humiliating episode. He writes that his paramour treated him like a young stallion. He continues, "I mounted her quickly, after which she spanked my asterisk and sent me away." Harry really isn't holding back. According to Page 6, Spare reveals that during Prince William's 2011 wedding to Kate Middleton, Harry was suffering from a frostbitten asterisk. You see, Harry had just returned from a 200-mile Arctic charity walk at the North Pole, which left him with a frostbitten todger. He did what any of us would do, slathered his pasterisk in Elizabeth Arden cream, suffered through the wedding, then went to the doctor after the festivities had ended. Royals, they're just like us.